太佛内藏式瑶池金母护摩法会开始，一会大众虔诚合掌，恭迎真佛宗创办人无上法王圣尊莲生活佛。大家虔诚合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善印。二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善印。三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善印。四平等一起手。恭请师尊移步到展示亭，接受众线上的众弟子真安。你好，
Today, here at the Redmond Temple in North Bend, Washington, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, our lineage Guru, the founder of the Buddha School, is presiding over Golden Mother Homa fire offering ceremony. The ceremony will begin soon.
留下，
请加一支线，然后爱互相，留下来，我的心灵回来，家人
就是
没多好。
地存我觉安康，贵的真我们圣，我们三样的真爱你，请留下来，爱你人就不要走哦。尊贵的，我们很想念你的真好，想念你的爱你，一个心情开心的，时间的感恩，爱你，本身是好像谢谢师尊，给你加持感恩，请留下来，讲我们爱的时候，师尊，我爱你，师尊会往中，有苦行尊，一见到你是最好的，讨厌你，最棒的，感谢师尊，谢谢，吉利孝顺，
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
We are inviting everybody to please be seated. Inviting the Dharma King, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, to bless the registration forms of the primary supplicants. The offering of Hatha. Let us join our palms with reverence, and we would like to invite Master Ling to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage Guru as a symbol of the highest honor. The Golden Mother Homa fire offering ceremony has now begun. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light blesses. Recite Padma Kumara mantra. Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. 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 Perform the visualization of the four immeasurables, ancestors and relatives from the father's side to your right, from the mother's side to your left, friends and teachers behind us. Enemies and karmic creditors in front of us. And sentient beings around us, together practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Clap twice and snap your fingers to awaken the deities. Recite purification mantras. Om Siuli Siuli Maha Siuli Siuli Soha. Om Siudoli Siudoli Siumori Siumori Soha. Om Vajra Dan He He Hom. Namo Samanto Modoran Om Turu Turu Deve Soha. Recite invocation mantra. Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha. We sincerely invoke our lineage Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Namo White Maha Padma Kumara. Namo Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpon. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpon. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpon. Namo Five Dhyani Buddhas. True Buddha School 8 primary deities. Namo Yamantaka, Akalanaka. 4 heavenly kings, Sima Bodhisattva. Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Order, at the Seattle Lian-Sheng Temple, and at the South Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, mountain god, earth god, plant god, wind god, water god, heavenly fire god, dragon gods, and all divinities, as well as the city gods, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Pay homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for position on the ground, daily Mudra, second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for position on the ground, daily Mudra, third to all their erugas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for position on the ground, daily Mudra, fourth half bow. Great mandala offering, form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus. And the main deity of Homa today, Golden Mother, the primordial Japan, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Mount Meru, four continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and marriage purge our karma to all of our civilization. Om Sarva Tathagata Ittamu Gurunana Menjana Kandiliye Dayami. For food refuge, visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel, to form bright white light to empower us. We said the mantra.
Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhamoye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhamoye, Namo Sankhyaye.
Armor protection from Vajra Club's mudra. Recite Vajrapani mantra.
Om Boyulanjali, Om Boyulanjali, Om Boyulanjali, Om Boyulanjali, Om Boyulanjali, Om Boyulanjali, Om Boyulanjali.
With reference, we are inviting His Holiness to perform blessings using mala.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛金刚灵处结界加持
Inviting His Holiness to set ceremonial demarcation to bless the registrations forms, Homa cards, and all the offerings using Vajra balance scepter.
请大家起立，恭敬合掌。
Please stand up and join your palms with reverence, and we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and further deliverance. Let us all recite the Hatman. Recite the heart mantras of the 8 principal deities and incan Buddha.
Om Panamo Ling Soka, Om Ha 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 Wei Samaye Soka, Om Zeli Zuli Zunti Soka, Om Zambara Chaleng Chalaye Soka, Om A Hom Beza Guru Bema Sidi Hom Se, Om A Hom Guru Bei Ah Sasamaha Lian-Sheng Sidi Hom, Deyata Om Bekazaya Bekazaya, Maha Bekazaya Naza Samo Kyade Soka. 南无36万亿111万9500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿111万9500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿111万9500同名同号阿弥陀佛。
Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions, passionate, compassionate bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are slipping, tumbling in the misery of a perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels, eminent wondrous light, provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha pray that you stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel, to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication, may all uphold the Buddha, a single of utmost bliss, repaying fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha's school disciples wholeheartedly pray to the main deity of Homa, Golden Mother of the primordial Jigton, to please protect our lineage Guru with great health, strong body, free from all illnesses, filled with great energy, leisurely spirit with no cares. All channels, chi and light drops flowing smoothly, to live a long life in samsara, to turn the Dharma wheel and guide sentient beings to the other shore. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly, we pay homage to the main deity of Homa, the Golden Mother of the primordial Jigton. Wholeheartedly, we pay homage to the main deity of Homa, the Golden Mother of the primordial Jigton. Wholeheartedly, we pay homage to the main deity of Homa, Golden Mother of the primordial Jigton. We pray to Golden Mother.
Shen, Ching, Luan,
and Qing Luan, Sao Luan, Yu Luan, the green mythical bird, the big mythical bird, and the young mythical bird, and the 2 closest attendants, Dong Song Chen and Xu Hui Chong. and the 3,000 attendants, celestial attendant maidens, to please accept this offering. Please bless the spirits to purify their body and mind, to be reborn in the pure Buddha land. We pray to Golden Mother to please radiate light, to bless our participants with good health, eradication of illnesses, and the eradication of calamities, and the bad affinities be unarising. Please bless us so the pandemic disappear, the viruses disappear, disasters disappear. Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan, please bestow upon spiritual cultivators so that they are endowed with wisdom, endowed with sufficient resources, and to live in harmony with love and respect, and succeed in their subjugation. The Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan, gods in heavens, gods on earth, may be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted. Please radiate light and bless so that the pandemic disappear, the coronavirus disappear, the bad affinities unborn, all calamities disappear. We say 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecamami Mansa Pecapawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pe Om Peca Sato Samaya Manupanaya Peca Sato Tenupaticha Ceco Me Pawa Soto Kayu Me Pawa Sobo Kayu Me Pawa Anulato Me Pawa Sarwa Siti Me Punayata Sawa Kama Sutame Jitamu Sriyan Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecamami Mansa Pecapawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Te Om Peca Sato Samaya Manupanaya Peca Sato Tenupaticha Ceco Me Pawa Soto Kayu Me Pawa Sobo Kayu Me Pawa Anulato Me Pawa Sarwa Sidi Me Punayata Sawa Kama Sutame Jitamu Sriyan Guru Hom Ha 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 呀，色斗啊Home配。做观想大礼拜，100根本传承。
Perform great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for procession on the ground, release the mudra, second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for procession on the ground, release the mudra, third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for procession on the ground, release the mudra, fourth half bow. Recite completion mantra.
让我们以热烈的掌声感谢根本上师法王圣尊莲生活佛，祝坛瑶池积木。
Let's give a great round of applause to show our gratitude to our lineage Guru for presiding over this Homa fire offering ceremony. Now let us join our palms and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dhamma teaching. Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liang-Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dubden Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Golden Mother of the primordial jade pond. Sumo. Tanzan Katso, Tutan City. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
Hola, Nico. Te quiero mucho. Sugoi. Ichiban. Kimochi. Jumi. Yapi. Piri. Konnichiwa. 那现在通知大家
I would like to announce April already.
下个礼拜天就是4月3日下午3点。
Next Sunday, April 3rd at 3 p.m.
刚好我们这里做清明节啊，做清明节。
That's the ancestors' day.
那也就是用
So
王菩萨的护摩。
we have Siddhikarma Bodhisattva, the Earth Store Bodhisattva,
在这个
Homa fire offering ceremony.
清明节的时候啊，
During the ancestors' festival,
如果有这个
the Twin Lotus Columbarium,
位在里面的。
if you have
清明节的时候，
purchased some
让王菩萨的
spot
会
at the columbarium,
一定要报名。
you need to register for the Siddhikarma Bodhisattva
这等于
Homa fire offering ceremony. So it's the same as praying to the ancestors or to the ones staying at the columbarium for their bardo deliverance. So last night at the Seattle Lian-Sheng Temple, I have talked about Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, that he's the one that Sakyamuni Buddha entrusted. He's one of the 8 great bodhisattvas. So he's not only in hells, but in each of the 6 realms of the rebirth cycle. The heavenly realm, Asura, human, hells, hungry ghosts, and animal realms. There are Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva in each of these realms to be in charge of. So I welcome you attend or participate in the Homa fire offering ceremony of Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva for the Ancestors Festival. On March 30th, Wednesday at 2 p.m., the Rinpo Temple has organized the Great Compassion Repentance Ceremony at the Rinpo Temple. That is led by masters and Dharma teachers. And there will be webcasts also, and we welcome your participation for the ceremony. March 30th, Wednesday at 2 p.m. For the Ancestors Festival, there will be the Great Compassion Repentance Ceremony, led by many masters and reference. And there will be webcasts also. There is a special announcement. Today, we perform Golden Mother Homa fire offering ceremony. And inside this Homa hall, it's completely full. It's full house, not even an empty spot. If there is an empty chair, please take it away. Then we can say it's a completely full house. Only 2 or 3 empty chairs, so no need to take them away. And we have the most people today. The most people attending in attendance today. And we all know of Golden Mother. I've talked about her many times. And truly, she's Grandmaster's first golden sage that Grandmaster encountered. And because of the power of the spirits, my spiritual power also came from her. Golden Mother descended. It's a very rare occasion. And she developed me. She inspired me to start on my path until now. At that time, I was 25 or 26. I wasn't sure if it's 25 or 26. All I remember was I was I was working at the U.S.A 58 East Survey team. And before that, I was a Christian. And I changed after my encounter with Golden Mother. Because Golden Mother started me on this path and opened my divine or third eye and to see my origin and Golden Mother. And then when I went back to my dorm, I watched for the whole night from 9 p.m. until the next morning. Everything that's happening in heavens and on earth. And I also had the vision of my origin, which is Padma Kumara, or the Lotus Youth. It was the same night, the night of the same day. That night. So that was 26 up until now. It's been 52 years since. So what happened then is still so vivid in my mind. At that time, I did not know anything. So the dark blue or dark green dressed lady in the temple told me, just kneel down and you will know about it all. And I thought, what? Just by kneeling? And sure enough, as soon as I kneeled down, so I continued. I persisted until now. It's my whole life. So my whole life is completed, dedicated to this Buddhist path. I've learned a lot of things. And like what I said last night, the most important thing is to have a pure mind, pure heart and mind. That's the most important. To prove the Buddha nature, to truly attain or have the pure mind, only then it's called the true attainment. It's extremely difficult. Although I can say that I have established a religious school, and through my own personal spiritual journey, it is not an easy matter. Every spiritual cultivator should pay attention to this. You should not have any selfishness or ego. A Buddha is perfect in his realization and actions. And bodhisattvas strive for Buddhahood above and benefit sentient beings below. They should also have no selfishness, no self-interest at all. Everything is completely for others. But it's the opposite for the whole world. Everyone is for themselves. They think for themselves. They don't think or they don't consider others. They only see the shortcomings or the negative sides of others. They never think about the negative sides of themselves. But as Buddhists, we are the other way around. Otherwise, what use is practicing Buddhism? You can just be a mundane being then. Practicing Buddhism is to always look at yourself, to reflect upon yourself, to think about yourself. What are you thinking about? The shortcomings, the flaws, the faults, and the negative parts should be corrected, and that is spiritual cultivation. But instead, you're always looking at shortcomings of other people, but they are none of your business. That's irrelevant to you. That's the karma, cause and effect of those people. So instead, you should look at yourself. What causes have you planted that you would suffer the retributions or the effects? So you should observe yourself, not others. You don't want to see the flaws of this person and that person and that person. How about your own flaws? You never think about them. So sometimes think about it. What mistakes have I done? Then you correct them. Only then you're called spiritual cultivator. And don't worry about other people's. Don't mind other people's business. All that we can do is to help sentient beings. This is a very important point. And the Vajra Sutra also talks about this. Don't always focus on the flaws of other people. You should observe your own flaws and faults. I know my own flaws, and I gradually correct myself. And I have also received lots of, I have learned a lot also, and also from Grandmaster, from Golden Mother. As I walk this path of sentient beings, then I should suffer the sufferings of sentient beings. Since you have walked the path of the sentient beings, then you should suffer the sufferings of sentient beings. So when a sentient being suffers, it's the same as you are suffering. And then you want to help alleviate that suffering. So we talk about loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Loving kindness is to give happiness to everyone, to others. And compassion is to alleviate the suffering of others. And joy is to do them with joy, just with the flow, naturally, without force. So just following you wish naturally with joy to do them. And equanimity is to forsake your own lives and to equally treat all sentient beings.
不能说这件善事我喜欢做，我就去做。
You can't say that, oh, I like to do that good deed, but not this good deed. You shouldn't be like that. You want to help any single being, anybody, then that would be called equanimity. Don't think this way that that one is despicable. I don't like that person, so you will not help that person. You still need to help them. Then that would be called equanimity. Most people know about loving kindness and compassion, and they also know joy, but they don't quite comprehend equanimity. Equanimity is the same as equality. Whether you like them or not, or perhaps even completely foreign to you, you still want to help them all. That's equanimity. This is important. This is what Golden Mother taught me. Let me share a joke. Before, there's a fortune teller that said, I am being bound by love, and I thought it was romantic life, but it turned out to be the pandemic. It's a homophone in Chinese. Really, our True Buddha School masters or reference or disciples, they were all being troubled by the pandemic. I'm empathetic toward masters who've been going all over the world to spread the Dharma. But for this past 2 years, they were tied down at the Seattle temple, and they have completely empty pockets, and they drink the northwest wind. And we could have gone to different parts of the world to spread the Buddha Dharma, and many disciples could have come here, but instead they were limited, restricted by the pandemic. And I've been praying for it for the 2 years. At every ceremony, I always ask, talking about prayers. Let me share you another joke. There's a new female co-worker at the office, and she introduced herself and said, her name is Joy. And all the co-workers say, oh, that's wonderful, Joy. So when you were born, your parents must be happy. That's why call you joy. But the new employee said, but my family name is, well, in Chinese is white. But this homophone means like no, like no joy. So really, this pandemic, this 2-year pandemic, we cannot be joyful. It's really no joy. Now we'll do the question and answer. Question from Malaysia, Lian-Hua Sun Jing. Sun Jun. Asking about Saraswati or Lokeswara, the goddess of marvelous sound and the goddess of eloquence. Are they the same? And are their mantras have the same function or effect? I have received the empowerment of the goddess of marvelous sound, so can I perform the boundary protection of the goddess of eloquence? I have read a Grandmaster's book about the boundary protection practice of the goddess of eloquence. It is another Chinese homophone. And place the water in front of Saraswati and recite the mantra. The mantra 37 times. Then sprinkle the water to all directions in the altar. Thank you for your advice and teaching. The question, so Saraswati or Lokeswara, which is the goddess of marvelous speech, is this the same as the goddess of eloquence? Actually, Saraswati has many names. Many names. The goddess of eloquence is also the goddess of marvelous speech, Buddha Mother with marvelous speech, goddess of beautiful sound, goddess of arts and skills, goddess of arts and talents, all her epithets. In Hinduism, she's very famous, very popular, Saraswati or Lokeswara. Hindu Trinity is Vishnu and Brahma and Shiva or Mahaswara. They are the Trinity or the three greatest gods of Hinduism. And below them is Mahasri or Lakshmi, and then Saraswati or Lokeswara. So the goddess, auspicious goddess, and the eloquent goddess. And then we have Kali and Uma. And Hanuman, the monkey god. They are the major gods in Hinduism. So Saraswati or the goddess with great eloquence is extremely popular, famous. It's also in Buddhism. When Sakyamuni Buddha was alive on earth, that Saraswati was the goddess of the Ganges River. So the Buddha highly revered Saraswati, and her mantra, the heart mantra of Saraswati, so Om Saraswati Soha, that's called name mantra. So then her name is Saraswati. The mantra is Om Saraswati Soha. And the mantra of the goddess of eloquence in the So this mantra and the general or the heart mantra of Saraswati have the same functions? Of course, because they are the same. The goddess of eloquence and the goddess of marvelous speech. It's the same. Om Saraswati Soha. It's the same mantra and the same effect and function. There are many mantras. And after you set up her altar, you place a glass of water in front of Saraswati. This is homophobe. The goddess of eloquence, and we said the mantra. Tantra. For 37 times and sprinkle the water to all directions in the altar. And this is the most secret boundary protection of Saraswati. And that's the secret altar of Saraswati. And you need to do such boundary protection. Saraswati. Grandmaster often call upon her name. Grandmaster also highly revere her. In my painting room, I remember there is an image, a statue of Saraswati. She is also the goddess of arts and literature. She is holding a lute, musical instrument, Veena. In the flying devis, in the heaven of marvelous speech, she's always there. In Chinese, the musical instrument is called pipa, which sounds like a fruit that we can eat. Was that offered by Master Huijin, Saraswati, that you give to me? It's best if you give me a slim one, but that one is very voluptuous. Saraswati is extremely beautiful. When I saw her personally, she's extremely beautiful and very slim, not as voluptuous as the one you give. So you like this people of the same flocks fly together. So let me ask you, so the statues that you have on your altar are all very as heavy as you are? Why did you give me that? And she's completely naked too. Is it right? Yes. This is so strange. So the mantras have the same effect and function. We just talk about this joke. The afflictions of human beings come from forgetting about their own problems and always minding other people's business and worrying about the problems of God. So it's very easy to be at ease and at peace. It's just to mind your own business, never minding other people's business, and not worrying about the problems of God. So when you're in a bad mood, what you should ask yourself is, whose problem, whose business is it? So just mind your own business. Don't mind other people's business. On her birthday, she's very hopeful about the gift that the husband gave to her. So last year, the husband said, "Tonight you don't need to wash the dishes," and I was so touched all night. And then the year before, he gave me $100 more. So, like I buy some French fries to celebrate. And for my birthday this year, he gave me a special break for 1 hour. And I was so touched. But then I asked myself, where should I go for this 1 hour? And 1 hour break, a 1 hour break. Now, we'll talk about the main topic. Last night we talked about chapter 23, doing good with a pure heart and mind. And here, the Buddha asked Subhuti again, Subhuti, in Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, all Dharma is equal without any distinction. So this Dharma is called Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Practicing all good Dharma without any notion of self, other sentient beings, and lifespan will result in Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Subhuti, the Tathagata says that the so-called good Dharma is not good Dharma. It is merely named good Dharma. So, the good Dharma the Tathagata says is not good dharma. Because it is not good dharma, therefore it is good dharma. So we should all understand this by now, because Sakyamuni Buddha has spoken this way many times, and I have explained them many times. So you all know what it means, but let me explain it briefly. The so-called Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi is the way I pronounce it is the way my mom pronounced it. This is in Taiwanese, Anyao-to Samyao Sambodhi. But in Mandarin Chinese, I like the pronunciation of my mother. So I'm used to that. Anyao-to Samyao Sambodhi. Yeah. So all Dharma is equal without any distinction. Oh, everything. Think about it. Buddha nature is equal. No distinction, no high and low. Your Buddha nature is equal to my Buddha nature. There is no high or low. There is no leveling. Let's talk about the whole universe. So which one is up, which one is down? That's only differentiated by human beings. Up and down are defined by human beings. So which part of the earth do you live in? Above or below? Actually, for all of us, our feet are on earth. On the earth. So the earth is below us, but the earth is revolving. So is the earth above us? So we are below the earth? It's a round thing. So simply said, a small grain of sand of the Ganges River. The earth is just like a grain of sand of the Ganges River. And the scientists believe that the solar system of the 9 or 8 planets, all the planets from the Neptune, Jupiter, Neptune's, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, the Earth. And there are many planets, satellite planets around them too, in the sky. And nowadays there are many man-made satellites too. So it's hard to count. Where are you? With respect to the whole universe. And now we were talking about the heliopause outside, on the boundary of our solar system. The planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. and there are 100 suns, but we don't feel it because their suns don't shine on us. So the hypothesis is there are 100 suns. In my survey engineering, I also studied about observations of the stars. And in Greenwich time, a small village, Greenwich in England, we use that time, and at a certain hour, certain time, which planet or star will pass by, and then we are watching the scope, the telescope, at a certain Greenwich time, GMT, at which hour, minute, and second, and then there would be a star passing by, and then the brightness is its scale from scale 1 to 4, 1 being the brightest. Okay. And they were all recorded in the astronomy book on astronomy, all of the stars. So how big is the universe? And each star that has been discovered by human beings have names associated with it. When you discover a new star without name, and if it is you are the one that discover the star, then the star would be named after your name. So each of these planets or stars would have a name, and they are discovered through the telescope. And Grandmaster did too. And I was wishing for a Sheng-yen Lu star, but all that I saw already have names associated with it. So you would know what stars or planets will pass through the observatory. So the equipment is called the observatory of the night sky. So Grandmaster has learned that too, that the universe is boundless, infinite. But during the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, which is 2,600 years ago, he already knew that there are 3,000 great thousand worlds, and one small thousand world so 3,000 of the small thousand world is the same as the one medium thousand world, and 3,000 of the medium thousand world is the same as the one great thousand world, and then 3,000 great thousand worlds is the same as the whole universe. So Sakyamuni Buddha already talked about the 3,000 great thousand worlds. And the earth is just this very small world. And 3,000 worlds is just one small thousand world. And then 3,000 of it to become a medium one. And 3,000 of the medium one is the same as one great one. And then 3,000 of that, just imagine how many of them. So during the era already, Sakyamuni Buddha was not a human being, he was a Buddha. So what he talked about, the grains of sand of the Ganges River, and each grain of sand is the same as a Ganges River. So how many sand, how many more sand there are? Just imagine. So 3,000 great thousand world and the whole universe. How big is it? How can you differentiate them? Impossible. Impossible. Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. It's impossible to differentiate. It's like the whole cosmos, including everything, the 3,000 great thousand world. How can you make distinction between high and low? They are all equal. So Sakyamuni Buddha was truly remarkable. The brain of a human being will not be able to fathom that, but Sakyamuni Buddha was not a human being, was not a normal human being. So he already talked about the 3,000 great thousand worlds. Who could have imagined it? Only the wisdom of the Buddha can know it. That's why what he talked about was the ultimate truth. So this Dharma is equal with no distinction. Only then it is called Buddha nature, because there is no self, others, sentient beings, and lifespan. If you practice all good Dharma based on this, that would be unconditional. You don't do anything for any reasons. You do it for money? No. You do it for name or fame? No. Then why do you do it? For no reasons at all. No whys. That's the same as no self, no others, no sentient beings, and no lifespan. And then practicing all good Dharma. So Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi is to help sentient beings. Subhuti, the so-called good Dharma, now we're talking about the good Dharma. The so-called good Dharma is not good Dharma according to the Tathagata. It is merely named good Dharma. Just for the sake of a term, it's called good Dharma. But why is it not good Dharma? We are doing good deeds. Why is it not called good Dharma? Many doctors would say that I'm doing good, I'm saving beings, human beings, I'm saving sentient beings, I'm a doctor, I alleviate your suffering, I cure your illness, I cure your cancer, and all sorts of illnesses. And many doctors at the major hospitals are doing good deeds, and they do. There's a term, right? The doctors save sentient beings, alleviating the sufferings. They don't care about rewards. So I just do work like I'm a famous doctor. I go to Africa and to provide service there without asking for money or rewards. So giving to sentient beings, helping sentient beings, that's good deeds, right? That's is it good deed? Think a little deeper. So contemplate it. Ponder it a little bit more. Is there any patient that you can save so that he doesn't die? So the salvation or the alleviation is only for a moment. So you alleviate the suffering, but eventually they would still die. The saviors will also die. The ones being saved will also die. All the patients in the hospital will eventually die, and the doctors all will die too. And today, Sheng-yen Lu, who's giving Dharma teaching, and says that he is salvaging sentient beings, but Sheng-yen Lu will also die. The speaker of Dharma will die. The listeners of the Dharma will eventually die too. I often ask the youngest one here, Tanzan Katsu, how old are you? 19. Please be seated. Kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten baby. Kindergarten baby.
19. At such age, I was naive. 100 years later, will you still be here? You should be brave and live to be 120. It's really difficult to live to be 120. But the Venerable Elder Sheng-yen lived to be 120. Oh, that's so 120. That's extremely hard. So 100 years later, the speaker of Dharma is no longer here. The listeners of the Dharma also no longer here. And the youngest one, oh, there are several babies out there too. So 120 years later, any one of us here will still be here? No, none. The speaker of Dharma will no longer be here. The listeners of the Dharma are no longer here. So what sentient beings have I delivered? And what beings have the doctor saved? So strictly speaking, what is good? None. They're all momentary. Suffering is also momentary. Or alleviating your suffering is also momentary. You have money, that's momentary. It's fleeting. Don't be envious of the rich, it's all fleeting. Don't be envious of the beauty, it's all fleeting. Very soon, you will become an old lady with wrinkles all over, and your teeth will all fall off. Very swiftly, you will have osteoporosis. So see, what kind of good deed is that? So the so-called good dharma, according to the Tathagata, is not good dharma. See, Sakyamuni Buddha was remarkable. He knew already. What kind of good is that? None. It's only momentary. At the end, there's nothing. Nothing. At that time, when Buddha nature can appear, then that's no self, no others, no sentient beings, and no time. All gone. So, doing good deed, according to the Tathagata, is not doing good deed. And because it's not doing good deed, it's called doing good deed. Because you do it without any motives. But if you do it with a certain motives, then, or certain purpose, then it's not good deeds. So you just do it without any motives, and that's called good deeds. But if you do them conditionally, then that's not good deeds. So the Tathagata says, so you do good deeds, but if you do the good deeds with condition, then that's not good deeds, because you do it to gain some fame, to have name. Then what kind of good deed is that? And the doctors are to make money. Sometimes they wear lots of gold and jades. They're embellished with precious items. And I saw a doctor and said, "But this diamond I got from performing surgeries, and they have a gold belt buckle. It's made from pure gold." Oh, not pure gold, but from gold. Taiwanese rich man would have a belt buckle that's made of gold. And I got it from performing appendicitis surgery. And my Rolex watch is from performing brain surgery. This bracelet made of gold, diamonds, and jewels is from curing my hemorrhage, someone's hemorrhage. So, why did you do them? If for all these things, then that's not good deeds. It's only good deed if you do it without any conditions or without asking for anything. So if you do it unconditionally, it's a good deed, but momentarily. There is no good deed that lasts forever. And the only everlasting good deeds or good dharma is the empty nature. So when you truly practice your own true brightness or clear light radiance, that's complying with the universe. That's called Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. So maintaining the clear light radiance of your heart or mind, that's the Buddha nature, and that would be the true good dharma. And the rest, as for the rest, even when you do them unconditionally or not, according to the sixth patriarch, there is no good and no bad. Is at that moment where none of the so-called good or bad. And he actually talks about Buddha nature. In the universe, a grain of sand of the Ganges River symbolizes an earth. So what kind of good deeds are you talking about? You know, the ants are moving the grains of rice to provide relief to other ants, so they are doing good deeds. And human beings distributing disaster relief packages to help the refugees of Ukraine. That's a good deed, yes. However, with respect to the universe, it's like an ant carrying grains of rice to some other hungry ants to feed them. mull it over. When you see ants carrying debris of rice to save other ants, relieving their famine. Do you see them? So like Sheng-yen Foundation gave some disaster relief funds or packages to the refugees in Ukraine, or Lotus Light Charitable Society also sent a lot of them to Ukraine refugees in Poland, because they cannot live. They have become refugees, so how can they continue to live on without other people's help? So that's called good deeds. So Lotus Light Charity Society and Sheng-yen Foundation do them for no reasons, and we are providing disaster reliefs for no particular purpose. So that's called good deeds for the moment. But the everlasting good deed is Buddha nature, is that the bright radiance of your mind that merge into the great empty nature of the universe. Only then it is called attainment. And this is what Sakyamuni Buddha was talking about. There's a female colleague that's all pretty good except laziness. And how lazy is she? That the grandma was sick for a couple of months, and so she went to take care of her. And only after a few days she got better, and everybody praised her and asked her, because the grandma said, "Oh, if I don't get well and get up, that my granddaughter will die of hunger." So as spiritual cultivators, we cannot be lazy. Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was very popular before. Audrey Hepburn said, if you want beautiful lips, you want to say kind words. If you want lovely eyes, you want to see other people's goodness. If you want a slim figure, you want to share your food to the hungry people, with the hungry people. So, do you understand, Hui Jin? Don't be so selfish, okay? The 5-year-old Xiaoming was flipping through an photo album, and asked Dad, "Who's this beautiful lady next to you?" And Dad was looking at the photo, a young lady in slim figure, beautiful and generous, and then thought of the wife used to be, "That's your mom." And then Xiaoming look at the one in the fat lady in the kitchen and said, "Oh, that fat lady is not my mom."
美丽也是一时哦。
See, even beauty is
是
fleeting.
一时哦，你看她现在漂亮，
So beautiful look is also fleeting. You think someone is beautiful right
为什
now.
么不用白骨观？
Why don't you use the visualization of white bones?
因为观不出白骨，
Because the white bones don't appear. You only see the white skin, white flesh.
啊，这个笑话我讲过了，但是还是再讲
I've
一遍。
told this joke before, but let me tell it again.
啊，他坐在捷运上，有一对小情侣，
He's on the subway,
头痛，
on the
男生就在女生的头额头
and the woman said, oh, I have headache.
头还痛，
And the boy
女生讲说不，
kissed her head and said, still,
女生
how's your headache? It's gone. And then the girl said again, I have
男
toothache.
生就在女生的
And the boy kissed
吻了一下，
her cheek.
牙齿还疼吗？
Okay, is it still painful? And the girl said no.
的阿伯，
And then there's a grandma
你有
said, hey young man,
痔疮吗？
can you cure hemorrhage? Hemorrhage.
我妈那边以后，
Oh, Mani Beni Home.
非常感谢法王圣尊莲色佛陀精彩宝
We are very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teaching.
放在礼堂，我们恭请世尊带领大家顶礼。
This ends the English interpretation today. In a moment, there would be empowerments for the Golden Mother, which include the 8 healing practices as well as the instant wealth practice. This ends the English interpretation today. If you are present in person, please remember to return your receivers. Thank you very much.
顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，100根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，2拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，3拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，4平等一起手。恭请师尊移步到展示屏，接受众线上的众弟子。家亲弟子身体健康，情绪愈出，退散正常，加持是否留下来，自在，日夜不求
如何帮助阿弥陀佛意识一定消除，感恩加持，三宝净土开示，原来早先生的苦乐，感恩谢谢大家，帮助阿弥陀佛，非常做大家对我们的恩情，阿弥陀佛，就是九九，一定消除。大家我是幸福，感恩师尊，感恩师父，幸福喜生，我们想念信心，预备请学生的死的，
祝大家
圆满，也幸福喜生，常住喜欢我，大家的幸福全部来，或者把你想来，
辛苦了。
一起吧，我如何想我如何爱我如何爱，愿大家心地清净，身体健康，都是还有家人，万物生，健好爱，能够人生健康，谢谢大家。在这礼拜天，师尊加持，好。不，我们是220，
每个礼拜中线上的同门都非常的开心跟师尊互相问候。现在呢，我们感谢师尊，感谢中线上的同门，我们下周见。谢谢师尊，谢谢大家。 尊，赐受瑶池金母法，瑶池金母马上有前法，还有瑶池金母八大法灌顶，含皈依灌顶。 灌顶即将就要结束了，如果还没有接受灌顶的义工同们，请你们来接受灌顶。 的掌声，感谢师尊，我们一起顶礼感恩，谢谢师尊。